Hi, we're here again with Bob Guenther. We had the privilege to talk to him yesterday briefly in regards to the green jobs, and today we wanted to ask him a few more questions. Hey Bob, how's it going?
Well, it's going good. Yesterday was a long day. I was in Seattle talking to folks about energy, talking about new technology and utilizing the waste products that we have in the state.
Great. Could you tell us a little bit more about those timber waste product
Well,
opportunities?
if we look at the waste of the wood products from logging operations in the state, I've had people say to me, there's a possibility to generate nearly 40% of the energy that we use in the state of Washington by utilizing the wood waste. And what
Wow.
we've got to do is we've got to come up with a way to refine that into methanol, ethanol, or something of that nature. So we're working towards seeing what the science has to bring forth to see if we can utilize the waste products that we have in the state.
Great. That sounds like a wonderful use of that product. How about the proposed wind farm in Pale? Can you give us a bit more
Well,
information
I've
on
been
that?
working with a company called EverPower, and it's been really under wraps for quite some time. EverPower has been in Lewis County for over 3 years with wind monitoring projects throughout the county. They have found a place out near PL, the PL Doty Hills, that has a 30% efficiency factor. In other words, those wind turbines will produce 30% of the time, 24/7. And so it's really a good spot to generate electricity. And so what EverPower is proposing is leasing some land from Weyerhaeuser on the hills out at Doty, and they'll put up about 51 or 52 wind turbines. That project will be about $230 to $250 million. It will employ local folks, and it will generate clean energy for our grid.
Sounds like another wonderful use. There was one other conversation we had a while back, and we were talking about TransAlta's industrial park, and you had mentioned the possibilities of using some solar arrays at that park.
Well, when the mine was shut down at TransAlta, there's 11 to 15,000 acres out there. When the mine was shut down, it displaced about 650 workers, and then the ancillary jobs on top of that really had an impact on the average wage in Lewis County, because those were $75,000 to $90,000 a year jobs that we lost, and we lost 600 of them. So when we lost those jobs, TransAlta, being the good corporate citizens that they are, said to the Lewis County Economic Development Council, we will set aside 1,000 acres of that reclaimed land from that mine. We will set aside that land for industrial development for the future. And so what TransAlta is doing is they are reclaiming that land. The Economic Development Council has some CTED grants to ensure that we're doing the environmental analysis on that whole project and making sure that we're within the law with everything we're doing. And so we would create 1,000 acres of industrial land bank there. But in addition to that, in some of the areas of the mine, especially on the North Mine, there's a large amphitheater there that I believe would make an ideal solar farm. And I have talked to TransAlta about that, but we just haven't brought it to fruition. But I think there's an opportunity there to create a solar farm in that North Pit that could probably produce another couple hundred megawatts to this area. Now, if you look at some of the science with older solar panel technology, says you need about 1,800 acres for 300 megawatts. So I think that there's a chance for a couple hundred megawatts right there in that Hanford Valley.
Amazing. Great hearing more about some of the projects that are happening in our area. And again, we hope to see you all at the Green Jobs Festival on September 27th. We'll talk to you again next time.
But one other thing in addition, if I could, and that is our youngsters are going to be the backbone of the development in this new industries. And we have to mine the resource of these youngsters and get them interested in a good family wage job for their whole weekend.
You're absolutely correct.
So, thank you.
Thank you, Bob.